Okay, and back with another highlights video. This is the second part of the April 25th session. There's about 10 hands in here, and I'll give the result of the session at the end of the video, and know you'll be on the edge of your seat waiting for that. You see over here we've got aces, 3-bet, get a call, and get a pretty good flop. Overpaired and up flush draw, we get raised. I don't know here whether the right play is just to bang it in or whether it's to call and then just play passively. That's probably the worst card I could really see. Um, he then checks behind. Is it the right play to bet here, or do we want to check and then call a bluff? As it happens, in that hand, he actually had Ace Jack offsuit, so he was just full of nonsense. I think I played it okay. Um, yeah, what's he usually going to be doing that with? Is probably like a queen. So actually, that turn would have been really bad. At least we won the hand, so don't think I did too much wrong. Okay, tens over here, raise. Get a caller, and we get a really nice looking board for our 10, so we go ahead and bet. And yeah, obviously not exactly the turn card we were looking for. Probably could go either way with this. I guess I'm going for the, sort of the check call line, which would probably be the most common thing that I would do. Maybe these spots I need to start betting a little bit more. Do have a tendency of continuation betting flop and then getting a bit more passive on turns. Once we've decided to check, there's nothing to do here but call. Do not want to raise. And it's a nice safe river. And I assume this was a check call. I edited these a few days ago, so I can't even remember from then. But there's so much in the way of missed draws. So you've got two missed flush draws. 5-6 does get there for the straight draw, and 10-8. 10-8 not too likely given that we've got two tens. I think there's really nothing much to do here but call, and it's not a particularly big bet. So we've got to put in 18 into 47, so we're getting 2.5 to 1. And he has Queen 9, which is a pretty thin value bet. Okay. Down here on the left, we have Ace Queen of Hearts. This is this is a sort of an interesting hand. A hand I'm not sure if I actually played well, as I am with most hands I play, pretty unsure. So we get 3-bet. This guy was pretty active. I think, given that we're this deep, I don't really want to 4-bet this too much. It's sort of too strong. It's not because I'm not strong enough to 4-bet, but also not weak enough to 4-bet. It's kind of in the middle there, so I'd rather call and take a flop. We get a really nice flop. If we were 100 big blinds deep here, I'm pretty sure I would just be check raising and getting this in. Given that we're a bit deeper, I'm not so sure I want to do that. So I do go for the check call, but I still think in hindsight, even though we are a bit deeper, a check raise is probably the right play. Now he bets big here, and I'm not sure, as I say before, whether I should just be banging this all in or whether I should just call. Usually in these spots, I don't think you have that much fold equity, given that he's 3-bet pre, bet the flop, bet the turn on this board. You're not going to see too many bluffs. So I decide I just call, and then look, doesn't half help, doesn't it, when you river the nuts? Decide to check it across to him. If he is bluffing, give him a chance to bluff, and he is bluffing. I mean, even checking that river there is slightly dodgy because it gives him a chance to check back stuff like Ace King or King Queen that might call a bet. Yeah, I mean, maybe I played that hand okay, got a bit lucky to hit the river. This hand here with the aces, this is when poker's lovely. This is barely worth showing as a highlight, but I kind of had to. When poker is just lovely and easy, you get hand in the cutoff, you get aces in the cutoff, you get 3-bet by the guy on the button, nice 4-bet, and he just goes ahead and rifles it in. And we have a very straightforward call. Obviously, it's getting easier than this. And do we hold? Yes, we do. We do. Okay. Next hand here is the pocket tens. Now see if you can. No, this isn't the hand. This isn't the hand. I thought there was a hand in here which I was going to see if anyone could guess what the guy had, but it's not going to be this one. It might be the net. It might be one coming up where I have queens. So we go ahead and make the call. We get 3-bet from the guy in second position. Then the guy cold calls. I think we have a pretty easy call. No reason to do much else. Get a delicious flop. Flopping a set. Don't think it really makes too much difference what we do here. We probably could just call, you know, just in case the guy's bluffing, but I don't think the guy's going to put this many of his chips in and then just give up. So I suppose I just decide that and just put it in. But we could just call and then check to him on the turn, just in case he has absolute nonsense. In this case, it's pretty unlucky for him. He has aces and we've flopped a set on him. Lucky for him, lucky for us. This one here is just a smaller hand with the deuce four. We make a pretty loose defend. This is just to show that occasionally I do at least attempt a bluff on the flop, and I promise that I was going to follow through on the turn here. I promised that I was. It became a lot easier though when a certain card turned up. Now, what's the best card here? What's the best card? What do you reckon? I think maybe the well, we're going to have a beer. The five of diamonds. Hey, magic, magic. Doesn't half make it easier when you go for what at best was a semi bluff and then turn the nuts. And you know what the guy does? You know what? He has the brass neck to just quickly fold. Hey, what a bastard. All right, Queen's here. Now, see if you can guess what this bloke has here. I never know what this is. Guy playing half a stack, min 3-bets. What are these? What range is this usually? I don't know. It's just weird play. I go for the 4-bet queens. We get called quickly. King 4-10, obviously not the ball we're hoping for. And I'm just checking here, giving him a chance, keeping his range as wide as possible. Just going to give him a chance to bluff off if he wants to. I'm going to give him another chance here on the turn. Yeah, and I'm going to call, and then I'm going to check call basically pretty much any river. There's obviously some rivers I'm not going to like. Yeah, I'm going to be check calling on this river. What do you think he's got? Quickly, what do you reckon? If you said Jack 3, you're a liar. Said Jack 3, you're lying. Anyway, okay, moving on to the next hand. Ace 9 of clubs. Raising the cutoff, get 3-bet by the button. Cold call from the big blind. We flop the nut flush draw. And in my standard passive ways, I decide to just call here. I think I might actually prefer a check raise. It's something I'm going to have to just get into my game a bit. I tend not to. I tend to just save my large bets a lot of the time for when I actually have a hand. Not because I think that's necessarily great poker, because I think at 5NL it's probably the best way to play. Maybe I'm wrong, but I try to avoid too much in the way of big bet bluffing. And as I say that, I go for a bluff here. This is not really a great play. He checks back the turn, so I'm hoping the guy's got like ace queen, ace jack, maybe jacks or queens fold, although I doubt it. When you've got two clubs in your hand, you are blocking quite a lot of the guy's folding range, and I'm a little surprised by what he does here. It makes me think that perhaps he actually did have ace queen or ace jack of diamonds. The backdoor diamonds get there. I can't see him checking the turn with pocket kings or pocket tens or pocket eights. So his line actually doesn't make a whole lot of sense for anything other than maybe the nut flush. But it doesn't matter. We've got a piece of cheese and I'm just going to put it in the bin. On the left hand side here we have ace king under the gun raise. Go for a 3-bet. Get a nice flop. Yep, c betting here for a small size. It could even go larger on this board. And looks like what I do. Yeah, now I choose to check here. We're very deep. One play that I quite like doing because I don't think it gets very much respect from people is the bet check bet line. There's a couple of advantages to it. One is you don't get check raised on the turn when so you're kind of managing the size of the pot. You can also pick up some river bluffs as we do there with the guy with the ace queen. So it's a play I quite like, as I say, because people often don't give it much credit. Nines flopping a boat, lovely jubbly. And we are very, very deep here. I wonder if I decide to raise. It's tough because it's just tough for this guy on the right. It's tough for anyone here to have much. Really, really hoping someone's got pocket fives, pocket sevens. But we do now just go for a large bet. Go for pot size bet, seems to make sense. And this guy snapped us off, and from memory, I think he had eights. Not 100% sure. Actually, I could check. No, he had tens. Sorry, he had tens. Checking my poker tracker. Pocket jacks, we get an above average flop. Go for a small c bet, and we get called. Lovely, lovely turn card. King Queen gets there, and if the guy has a 10, he's obviously going to be giving us some chips. This is I just go for a huge bet here. Go for a little over pot because if the guy has any of this, like he's just not going away. So let's just make the pot as big as possible. He check raises. I think we could almost just bang it in here. The downside of just calling is if the river's a 9 or even a jack, it might put him off if he has a hand like King Queen. River is absolutely beautiful. He bets with a very easy shove, and he does have King Queen, and we take down a nice pot. So for the April the 25th was a winning session, 2,000 hands, I think, 2,900 hands or something like that. Winning session of $39.47. So very nice. Just a quick video, and I will do some highlights of the 26th of April fairly soon. And I'll probably go back to doing some videos where I just play, since these are a little bit short. But anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching, and see you in the next video.